Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are really getting into the guts of the C programming language. We're going to talk about how you actually make a computer do something using things called operators and expressions.
Right, so how do you actually get a computer to perform a task? I mean, you can't just talk to it. You have to give it really specific instructions. And in C, the way we do this is with a whole set of symbols that, honestly, you can think of them as the verbs of the language. They're the action words that tell your program what to do with your data.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about C's action words, the operators. Then we'll build up our essential toolkit. After that, we'll get into making comparisons and decisions. Then the super important order of operations. And finally, we'll see how it all comes together to form expressions.
Okay, first things first. Let's really nail down what these action words are. In C, we call them operators. And trust me, they're at the heart of everything.
So, take a look at this. It's a perfect way to see what's going on. The numbers themselves, the data you're working with, those are called operands. Simple enough, right? And the symbols doing the work, the plus sign, the multiplication sign, those are the operators. They're the ones actually performing the action on the operands.
All right, let's start filling up our toolbox. We're going to look at the operators you'll be using pretty much all the time for basic math and for storing the results.
Okay, here are the absolute workhorses of C. You've got your basics, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, no surprises there. But then there's this one, the modulus operator, that percent sign. It might look a little weird, but it's super useful. All it does is give you the remainder after a division. So like 7 modulus 3 would be 1. Pretty handy.
Now, this is absolutely critical to understand, especially if you're new to this. In C, the equal sign is not what you learned in math class. It doesn't mean is equal to, it's an action. It's the assignment operator. It basically says, hey computer, figure out everything on the right side of me, get that single value, and then stuff it into the variable on my left. It's a one-way street, always from right to left.
Okay, these two, the increment and decrement operators, are a classic C feature. They look similar, but there's a tiny, super important difference. Both of them add or subtract 1 from a variable. The question is, when? If you put the plus after the variable, it's post-increment. It means use my current value first, then add 1. But if you put it before the variable, it's pre-increment, which means add 1 right now, then use my new value. It's a subtle distinction that can really trip you up if you're not careful.
Okay, now things get really interesting. This is where your program starts to feel like it has a brain. We're going to look at the operators that let your code compare things and actually make decisions.
So these are your relational operators. They just ask simple questions about the relationship between two values. Is it greater than, less than, equal to? And listen, I'm going to say this again because it's so important. Notice that equal to is a double equal sign. If you use a single equal sign here, you're not comparing, you're assigning. And that is one of the most common hair-pulling bugs you will ever encounter. Every single one of these questions just gives you back a simple answer, true or false.
And once you have those true/false answers, logical operators let you chain them together to build more complex questions. The AND operator, and, says, are both of these things true? The OR operator, pipeline, asks, is at least one of these things true? And the NOT operator, that exclamation point, is the simplest of all. It just flips true to false and false to true. It's like building with logic blocks.
All right, so we've got a whole bunch of operators now. But what happens when you throw a bunch of them into the same line of code? Which one goes first? Well, just like in your old math classes with PEMDAS or BODMAS, C has a super strict set of rules to make sure there's absolutely no confusion. Yeah, this quote sums it up perfectly. There's a hierarchy. You can just think of it as a ranking system for operators. It's called Precedence, and it's C's built-in rulebook that tells it exactly which operation to do first, second, third, and so on.
Okay, let's look at a real example. K equals 3 divided by 2 times 4 plus 3 divided by 8 plus 3. Wow. Depending on the order you do this in, you could get a bunch of different answers, right? But C doesn't guess. Let's walk through exactly how it solves this puzzle step by step.
So first, C scans the line and sees division and multiplication. They're on the same level of the hierarchy. They have the same precedence. So what's the tiebreaker? Simple. It just goes from left to right. The first one it hits is 3 divided by 2. And remember, we're dealing with integers here, so C just throws away the remainder. 3 divided by 2 isn't 1.5, it's just 1.
Okay, next up, still following that left to right rule for operators at the same level, it sees the 1 times 4,
That's easy. It becomes 4.
Now C keeps scanning and finds the other high precedence operator, the division. We have 3 divided by 8. Again, integer math. 8 goes into 3 0 times, so the result is just 0.
And now, all we have left are the addition operators. They're on a lower level in the hierarchy, so they go last. And again, we just go left to right. 4 plus 0 is 4. Then 4 plus 3 gives us our final answer, 7. See? No guesswork involved.
But what if you want to be the boss? What if you need that addition to happen first? Well, just like in math, you have a superpower. Parentheses. Parentheses override everything. You can see here, without them, multiplication happens first, and the answer is 20. But by wrapping 10 plus 5 in parentheses, we force C to do that part first, and we get a completely different answer, 30. You are in control.
Now, C also has another, more advanced set of tools called Bitwise Operators. We won't go deep into these today, but you should know they exist. These guys don't look at a number like 10. They get right down to the nitty-gritty, the individual zeros and ones, the bits that make up that number. This is for really low-level stuff, like talking directly to hardware or squeezing every last drop of performance out of your code.
Okay, let's put it all together. We have the operators, our action words. We have the rules of precedence. Now let's look at how they combine to create the actual instructions that your program will execute.
And that brings us to the formal definition of an expression. Really, all it is any valid chunk of C code that can be boiled down to a single value. That's it. It doesn't matter if it's super simple or incredibly complex. If it produces a result, it's an expression.
And as you can see, they can look really different. 10 minus 8, that's an expression. It boils down to 2. That big complicated thing with parentheses, also an expression. A plus B minus C, yep, an expression. Even an assignment like A equals 10 minus B is an expression because it produces a value. And that last one, the logical one, that's an expression that boils down to either true or false. They're all expressions.
So there you have it. C provides you with this amazing set of tools, the operators, and a clear rule book for how to use them. When you learn to combine them into expressions, you're not just writing code anymore. You are literally telling the machine precisely what to do. You have the fundamental building blocks now to create any calculation, any decision, any piece of logic you can think of. So the only question left is, what are you going to build?